noisy neighbors here in Kodachrome Basin in Utah. I don't mind. Everybody's very chatty in the evening. Well, I ran into a little bump in the road with this mandala. It's huge and beautiful, and I'm very happy with it. But it turns out that maybe my gauge was a little bigger than the pattern, or maybe my hoop is a little smaller than the pattern calls for. I don't know specifics, so I need to modify around the edge, do a little bit different than the pattern calls for, because it was seeming like it was going to be too big. So I tried to make the edge a little smaller, and smaller stitches, single crochets rather than double or treble or whatever the pattern calls for. So all is going pretty well, seemed like a nice finish. All is good except, and you don't know this till you get a good amount of ways around to find out, I have way too much give here. It needs to be pulled really tight. It should be a struggle to get the last bit to reach the ring, because you need it to be nice and tight so that it doesn't sag from hanging vertically on the wall, and I've got way too much fabric still. So I'll have to rip back all around there, and probably a couple of previous rounds, and modify. Like, I'll probably rip back to down here and like make one small single crochet to bring it in at the point, so that'll take out all of this and give me more stretch to get that-ish area out to the ring. And hopefully that'll make it snug enough all around. It's just one of those things. It'll turn out great, but for now, I'm going to put it aside and go do something else, because I don't feel like ripping it out. Until later. This is Bryce Canyon National Park, and I was here last spring, and it was spring of 2019. It was still icy and snowy because we're up at like 8,800 feet elevation here, so I didn't get to see very much of the park. Most of it was closed off. I'm glad I put the effort in to come back, because it's beautiful. Yeah, it's every bit as spectacular as it seems. I am parked right outside of Zion National Park. I have quite the view in all directions. I'm at the edge of a little promontory, so sunrise goes on over there and sunset goes on over there, and it's very nice. And there's a few people around, but pretty well spread out. But it's really nice to wake up and see the mountains off in the distance and nothing man-made. And I finished the, what's the name of it? Stunning Doily Dreamcatcher or something like that. It's not a great name. It's on the Red Heart website. It was designed by Julia Hart, whose work I like a lot. And this was made with the Red Heart It's a Wrap rainbow yarn, which has that nice gentle color morphing that I like so much, from 4 threads that just alternate out until they switch to a different color. So I have still, this is what's left of the yarn. I still have like, I think 250 yards or something, 200 yards left, so I should be able to make another something small. And since I know there's no way for you to tell if it's just sitting there like that, show you the size. It's 27 inches. It's pretty big. I'm very happy with the way. My arms aren't long enough, but I'm happy with the way it turned out. This is Zion National Park, and no matter how many videos and photos I take, they don't even come close to capturing how spectacular it is in every direction. You might not think that a minimalist 66 square foot house would have a whole bunch of detritus in its yarn stash, but apparently it did. So I did some tidying up and cleaning out and putting things where makes more sense this morning, and that feels really good. And this little pile, which is small but significant considering the overall size of my house, is going into the garbage. Yay. I had a little bit of this leftover yarn, and then I saw this when I was tidying up yesterday, and I thought, oh, those kind of go together. I'll make a hat, try to use them up, and probably have enough to make another one. So I made this little impish hat with a point on the top and a V-stitch, which is cute. I used this hook for the first time. This is a hook that you and I bought when we were in Iceland for Christmas of 2018. And it's different than I usually use, just a straight Susan Bates straight metal needle or hook as I've used since I was a little kid. But Addy is a good brand, and I do like some ergonomic hooks, so I tried this one, and it gave me a blister! I guess I hold and maneuver my hook, this non-slip stuff that I think is on it, which is probably very helpful for some people. I maneuver my hook by going back and forth, and it rests right there, and it gave me a blister. I stuck with it for a whole hat because I thought maybe I'll get used to it. I also didn't like the shape of the hook itself. It dropped the yarn a lot more than I'm used to. So I stuck with it for a whole hat, figuring maybe I just needed to get used to it. But no, between dropping the yarn and between the blister from just a hat, I think I'm done with that hook. I forgot to take a picture while I was back there, but this was my front yard yesterday and today. It was very pleasant. Nice and quiet.